Hey everybody, Cat Guy Thunder here today with another video. Today inside of this one, I'm going to be ranking every team's rest of their season lineup in your records. Starting with New England, which I have them going 2-2, which would put them at 11-6. Now let's go through them. I have them losing to the Colts, who's an on and off team, with Carson Wentz, being like a star QB this year. Losing to the Bills. I know that the Patriots literally just beat the Bills this week on last week on Monday, but I feel that it was just like that the Bills have been on a bad streak, and I feel like they'll group together, get back on track, and win. Now I feel so 2 straight losses, but their last 2 are going to be wins against the undermanned Jags and Dolphins. So they're at 11-6. Now, I have Cleveland, our next one, a little out of order. Now, I have them beating the Ravens just because we're home and if the betting odds are on Cleveland against Baltimore, Browns beating the Ravens, there's got to be something wrong with the Ravens that week. So, and plus we're at home. So I'm going to give it to the Browns. Now, the Browns, I'm having them beating the Raiders after what happened in 2019 or 2020, where we literally just absolutely obliterated them. Now, on Christmas Day, I have the Packers beating us. We're just undermanned. Unless there's an injury along the way, I feel like the Packers are going to win. Then I have them beating the Steelers and the Browns. The Browns look a little bit better without Odell, and it was only a 5-point loss. And honestly, with Jarvis Landry dropping every ball that game, that was a really bad game for Jarvis. I feel like that was just an outlier of a game. And I feel like we're going to repeat what we did to the Bengals when we absolutely annihilated them. And so that puts the Browns with going 4-1. If you give them 4-1, they go 10-7. Now we're going to go to Tennessee, where this is the first team where I have them winning the rest of the games this season, because they have to play. They have a really easy schedule for this remainder of the season. First, they have to play the Jags, then Pittsburgh, then San Fran, Miami, and then Houston. Not a lot of powerhouse teams there, so I'm going to give them all to Tennessee, which will end up giving Tennessee the number 1 seed in the AFC. Next, we got Baltimore, who, like I said earlier, I have them losing to the Cleveland. But I have them also losing to the Packers. The Packers, I feel like, will have enough to shut down Lamar. And when you shut down Lamar, most likely you're going to beat the Ravens. I'm going to have the Bengals repeating what they did to Baltimore last time. And I'm going to have the Rams beating the Ravens. Now, the Rams are just a super team. I feel like if they just use their pieces together, I feel like they'll figure out how to this season, and that's why I have them beating the Ravens right here. But I have the Ravens beating the Steelers because I just feel like they're a better team overall. Now that'll give them a 1-4 record for the rest of the season, putting them at 9-8. Now we have Kansas City. Now this one's kind of a little odd in my opinion, because they would win all their games if they weren't playing the Bengals right here. So they beat the Raiders. I'm just gonna put that there. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. The Chiefs would just way destroy them. Look at this is just 3 weeks ago. Now the Chiefs and the Chargers. I know the Chargers won last time, but and even in Kansas City, but I feel like that the Chiefs are still the better team. It was just a fluke. They'll get over it, Then they have to play the Steelers, an easy game for the Chiefs. But I feel like they're going to lose to the Bengals. The Bengals have been destroying a lot of good teams this year, and I feel like the trend's going to continue for the Bengals. And then we have the Chiefs just beating the Broncos. At the beginning of the year, they're a top 5 defense, but that's because they played very bad teams. So I felt like that was exposed. So I have the Chiefs beating the Broncos, going 4-1, and becoming the 2nd seed in the AFC. Next, we got the Chargers. They do pretty good against New York. Just a quick little scrimmage right there. Like I said, they're going to lose to the Chiefs. The Texans, the Broncos. Now, I mean, those are like really bad teams. But then I have the Raiders beating the Chargers in the last game of the season. Like I said, the Raiders have been beating really tough teams, and I also feel like the Raiders are slightly underrated. I just feel like that the Raiders will have this one. Um, so the Chargers, they end up having going 3-2 for the rest of the season. That'll put them at 10-7. Now, the next team is the Bengals. Now, this is odd. I have them winning their first 4 games, but losing to the Browns as their last game of the season. I mean, so it's like the 49ers they're just undermanned. Same with the Broncos. The Ravens, I feel like they're going to repeat what they did to Baltimore, like I said, and as I already explained, the Chiefs, I feel like the Bengals are going to keep the trend up here, and the Browns, I feel like, is also going to be another repeat. The Cincinnati Bengals, a game that was literally like a couple weeks ago. It is a large span of like 2 months practically, but I feel like it's going to be the same team practically, the same game. I mean, when you live like in the same state, I mean, there's not much of like the home field advantage there. So I have them going 4-1, leading them to an 11-6 record, which currently puts them ahead of the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Really, really shocking. Next we have Buffalo, and I'm gonna have the Buccaneers winning. Tom Brady is just gonna sweep up the Bills, but they have to play really bad Panthers. I already explained the Patriots one with like the fluke for the Bills. The Falcons and the Jets are 2 easy games that they should probably win by like 20-30. It's not even going to be close. So I have the Bills only losing 1 game for the next. So they go 4-1. So with 4-1 for the rest of the season, they'll be 11-6, becoming our 3 seed. But we also know the 4 seed is going to be Cincinnati. I'll explain that when we come up in a second. Next, we'll have New England, the Chargers, and Cleveland. This is our AFC playoffs. Now, I am going to next. We have the Colts. So they're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, I have them losing to the Raiders and the Cardinals. The Cardinals, I mean, the Cardinals are overpowered. Well, Colts aren't. The Colts will beat the Patriots though. They had a pretty good game last time they played them. Up here, oh wait, never mind. No, but I feel like the Colts with Carson Wentz could beat them. Like I said, Cardinals, that's explained. Let's see, Raiders. All right, the Raiders. Like I said, I feel like they're underrated, and not only that, but the Colts are I feel like in the same sense. The Raiders are like their play styles like clashes, but I feel like the Raiders will win by maybe a touchdown or 2. Not that big of an upset. Colts beat Jags. I mean, at this point, if the Jags are probably going to lose the rest of their games, they're not even that good. We got the Raiders here. They will. Like I said, the Chiefs will win, and so will the Browns. But I have them beating the Broncos and the Colts and the Chargers. I already explained these 2. The Broncos, of course, are undermanned. Now we got Pittsburgh. They are not going to beat the Titans. That's just even if they don't have Derrick Henry, which they probably won't for this game. The Titans are just a really good team in general. I know that Derrick Henry is like taking away like their foundation, but I feel like the extra stuff I mean Tannehill's pretty good. They got Julio Jones and AJ Brown. I feel like that they would tear apart Pittsburgh defense. You got the Chiefs over here. They'd beat the Steelers any day. The Browns, I feel like even though Steelers will have home field advantage, I feel like Browns are going to take over that game. And the Ravens also. So I have them only going 1-4. The only game. No, wait, hold up. No, I have them going 0-4. Yeah, I have them going 0-4 and therefore becoming 6-10-1. Now Denver. Now, any team can beat the Lions except the Vikings, or Pittsburgh. Bengals. I mean, it's just not that good match. I mean, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase will tear apart this like fake defense. The Raiders. I mean, that's not even really a debate. Same with the Chargers and the Chiefs. I mean, as soon as you come off 3 losses, and then you have to play a powerhouse in the Chiefs, you're not probably going to win. Now we got Miami. Now they have been on a really big roll. I feel like they're going to keep it through the Jets, but not through the Saints. The Saints are. Taysom Hill, I feel like he was holding on to the Cowboys, which is like, in my opinion, a top 5 team in the NFL. And I mean, if your third string QB can hold on to the Cowboys, I feel like they can go through the Dolphins. The Titans, I already have them winning every game, so I have them beating the Dolphins. The Dolphins are just undermanned to the Titans, who are like extremely good. And then the Patriots, they're too good to lose to the Dolphins. So the Dolphins win one out of the next 4 games. So they go 1-3, making them 7-10. So now we're done with the AFC. So let's look at the full hunt and all that stuff. So this is our full playoff area right now. So now let's look at the first round. We got KC beating Cleveland, I say. Buffalo beating the Chargers. And New England beating Cincinnati. No upsets there. No, wait, hold up. No, New England beating Cincinnati is an upset. Then we have Tennessee. I mean, New England, I don't see them standing a chance against Tennessee. Tennessee is a really big powerhouse. Kansas City, Buffalo. I give this one to Buffalo just because I feel like the Chiefs are still kind of falling off of what they used to be. And Buffalo is like gaining, and both of them are like kind of going, one's going up, one's going down. I mean, even if the one going up was like had a higher, I feel like Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs is a really and they even got like 2 running backs that are decent. I feel like they'll go by Kansas City, but not without a fight. They'll probably win by somewhere between 3 and 10. Now, what we have left is Tennessee and Buffalo, which I'll have to give to Tennessee. I feel like Tennessee is just I feel like they just beat the rest of the AFC. I mean, like they've only lost 3 games. I mean, like, granted, they lost 3 games in their conference, but I feel like that was like a fluke. Now we're gonna have to go to NFC. So I'm gonna have Arizona sweeping the rest of the games of the series. The Rams, this was a hard one, but I mean the Cardinals are good, or like way better. The Cardinals beat the Lions any day. Same with the Colts, but the Cowboys, this is the one I struggled with choosing the most. This one was a really tough matchup, but I chose the Cardinals because the Cowboys have a stinky pass defense. The Cowboys rely really, really heavily on their pass offense, while Cardinals are top 5 in the league in passing defense yards per game. They just don't allow passing yards in. When you rely heavily on your passing game, and you got like some really good corners. I feel like that this game just belongs to Arizona. And then they beat the Seahawks, becoming 14-2. No, sorry, 15-2. I also have the Packers winning all their games because they're just destroying the Bears. That's not really much of a debate. Like I said, the Ravens won. The Packers are really good. The Browns, it's just no debate. I want the Browns to win. I hope they win, but I doubt they win. Packers beating the Vikings. I mean, if this was a couple years ago, maybe it would be like a closer matchup. But Vikings have lost most of their core that made them what was a good team in the first place. So they lose that, and then of course they beat the Lions. I mean, most teams beat the Lions, unless you're Minnesota or Pittsburgh. Now we have Tampa Bay. This is another team I put undefeated. They beat the Bills because Tom Brady, I feel like, and he has like so many weapons on offense that and their defense is pretty good too. So they could pick up the Bills. They could maybe not in the pass game because there's a lot of good players on the pass defense, but they can use Leonard Fournette against the run defense very well. And they also have Jones, and once you have your running game going, they're going to put more focus on the running game, and because you got to stop it. I mean, you're not going to stop Leonard Fournette a lot of the times. And Tom Brady, even if you do play like really good pass defense, Tom Brady in his career has found ways to somehow throw around the defense, and that's what I put there. The Saints. Now, I feel like even though the Saints beat Tampa earlier this season, most of their guys that they relied on to beat New Orleans got injured, like Alvin Kamara, who's probably going to be back, and there was a linebacker, I believe, that was playing for Saints that's injured for a little bit, and Jameis Winston, and Michael Thomas has been out even from before that game, but I mean they would need him to win this game. They beat the Panthers both times, no debate, and same with the Jets. I have them going undefeated. The Cowboys, I'm going to give the first game to Washington because they're at home, and I feel like they're a really underrated team. But the Giants win the next two against the Giants, and back at Washington instead in Dallas. It'll be Sunday night, so it'll be the only game we can watch. But yeah, I feel like it'll be a close game, but I'll give it to Dallas. I have Cardinals beating Cowboys because Cardinals are a powerhouse, and they clash in play style. And then Cowboys, there's no debate that they'd beat the Eagles. Now, the Rams. This one was real. This was really hard to do. I have them losing to the Cardinals, which I mean, most people would probably see that. Cardinals are really good. I mean, there's some times that you can, like, some teams have beaten them, but that's when Kyler and DeAndre Hopkins were both injured, or D-Hop was. Now, the Seahawks and Rams game, I feel like the Rams win that one. I mean, when you have like a super team like the Rams, I feel like you could be a team like the Seahawks, the Vikings, and the 49ers. Now, the Ravens game, like I said, is a super team. I feel like even with that, they have like a really good run defense. With Von Miller and Aaron Donald, you're not going to have Lamar running for all these 50 yards. And when he does that, he's going to have to pass away most of the time. And with the pass defense of Jalen Ramsey, you're always going to have a good pass defense, which is why I feel like the Ravens are not. And not only that, they have a really good running game. They have a really good offensive game with Odell, Cooper Kupp, and as a QB with Matthew Stafford. I feel like that's going to be really good. Now, Washington, I have them winning against Dallas, the Eagles. Then they lose to the Cowboys, and in Dallas, but they beat the Eagles and the Giants. They didn't have much of a tough matchup. The rest of their games are divisional games, so they're all three of these teams are rivals. Giants division, Eagles and Cowboys. They're all in the division. The Giants and the Eagles are just straight up terrible teams. The Cowboys and Washington are the two that are competing. I say the two that have the best chance of winning the division. But I think Cowboys are better, but Washington I feel like is a dark horse. So I'm gonna have them there. The 49ers, not that good. I'm gonna say the Bengals outmatched them. Falcons, close one. I'm gonna say that. Titans, that's not even gonna be close. But they beat the 49. No, they beat the Texans. I was about to say they beat themselves. That's not right. They beat the Texans because, well, the Texans absolutely stink. But the Rams are a super team, so they also beat the 49ers. And the Vikings, they beat the Bears. I mean, the Bears are terrible this season. The Rams are a super team, and the Packers are really good. So I feel like both of them win. But the Bears are also pretty terrible again. So I have them winning. I have the Vikings winning both times. So now with the Eagles. The Eagles, I mean, I say they lose both times to Washington. They do beat the Giants because the Giants are like one of the rare teams where they're worse than the Eagles. And then you also got the Cowboys who are way better. They're really good. Top 5 team. So the Panthers now, the Falcons are pretty good, not as good as the Panthers. Cam Newton's came back and he's starting to become better. Except for these two games. You don't have to talk about these two. And then you have the Bills, just a really good team. Same with the Buccaneers. And the Saints, I mean, their third string could be if their third string can hold on with the Dallas Cowboys, they can for sure beat the Panthers. And they're going to lose to the Buccaneers too. So they don't even lose. They don't even win. They win only one of their next games. Not that good. The Falcons. Alright. So the Falcons, where do you go with this? You lose to the Panthers already. He gave you... I'm going to give him the win against the 49ers. They're not really that good. And the Lions, the worst team in the NFL. The Bills and the Saints are really good, so I give them winning there. And then the Saints. This is interesting. I have them winning 4 of their next games. Of course, it's Jets, Dolphins, Panthers, and Falcons, terrible teams. And of course, it was the Buccaneers. I mean, like I said, it was just if you could barely beat them with your first string, you're not going to beat them with your third string probably. So I have them going there. So now I'm going to review NFC based on what I said. We got Arizona at 15-2, Green Bay at 14-3, Tampa Bay at 14-3-2. Now, these all went undefeated for the rest of their games. Dallas did not. They lost to Washington. I'm saying. Now might be like, why is 12-5 ahead of 11-6? Well, I'm just gonna reveal the picture now. I'll tell you why. Because these 4 are the divisional ones, and then these are the 3 wild cards. Now, the top 4 spots all go to the division leaders. So that's why 11-6 ranked above 12-5. Then we have also Washington, New Orleans, who makes a comeback. Minnesota, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and Carolina are all the hunts that didn't get in. Now we have playoff time. Green Bay meeting New Orleans. Washington meeting Tampa. Here's why. They already beat them this season, and Taylor Heineke has some sort of way of beating Tampa. I don't know how. When they were down by a lot against Washington, Tampa Bay was up a lot against Washington last season in the playoffs in the wild card game too. They decided to bench Dwayne Haskins for like keeping him ready for next season. Don't want him to get hurt at last second, tear his ACL, ruin his career. So they bring in Taylor Heineke, who goes off and like literally keeps them in the game. They do end up losing, as we know. Tampa goes on to win the Super Bowl, but Taylor Heineke literally, when he came in the game, was like had like way ahead, like plus like 14 or something against him. Next, we have Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. I have the Rams winning. I feel like they're a better team. Dallas is, even though they're a top 5 team, I mean, the Rams are just, like, phenomenal. In the second round, I have Arizona beating Washington and Green Bay beating the Rams. I mean, Arizona is just going to wash Washington off the face of the earth. And Green Bay and the LA Rams, I feel like it'll be a close one, but I mean, we saw what this in the second round of the playoffs last year, Green Bay and the Rams. You saw what they did there. Now, of course, the Rams have gotten better, but I still think the Packers are still the better team overall. And then we have the NFC Championship. I have Arizona beating Green Bay. I mean, Arizona has literally become such a powerhouse this season. I don't know what happened. Now, you guessed it, Super Bowl 56. Arizona versus Tennessee Titans in the SoFi Stadium, which is the Rams and Chargers Stadium in LA. So, in the first quarter, I say Arizona has a 7-3 lead. I say they have it right around midfield, okay? 7-3 lead. I mean, those are just my predictions. But at halftime, I have it tied 13-13. So, Arizona gets 2 field goals, and then Tennessee gets a touchdown and a field goal. So we go into the celebration with a tie game. Now, this one's a low-scoring quarter. The only scoring difference is that Arizona gets a touchdown. And then, for the final quarter, Arizona wins 30-19. Which is 10 points, which is a touchdown and a field goal for Arizona. And then 2 field goals for Tennessee. Now, Super Bowl MVP I have for Kyler Murray, and runner-up is DeAndre Hopkins. Now, those are just my picks. You guys can think whatever you want. That's just what I was telling you my picks were. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you had a great day, and see you all next time on Kai 200. Peace.